Alrighty, let's dive into transmedia and what that means to participate and how teachers can use that in the classroom. So first off, what we need to do is ask ourselves, what is transmedia? So that is elements of media to which are spread out across multiple platforms to enhance story experience. Now this can include narrative and non-narrative aspects. So just touched on movement across multiple platforms. So what does that really mean? Well, first off, you will have your original story, so the book, the narrative. You then might find that it does get reimagined into a movie. So then you've got this extra level to transmedia. Then you can put this up and discuss it on online forums and communities. So there's a big participation in that kind of area, which recently has been moved on to mobile apps and games. A lot more mobile, a lot more participation through that way. Transmedia seems to be new, however it can be seen in much older stories. Media franchising is not a new idea and is essentially what transmedia is trying to explain. Older story is. Blech. So, spreadable media, considered the Bible as the most successful transmedia narrative, it has been successfully transformed into magnificent paintings, and as technology improved, has also been reimagined into many movies, both for adults and children. Spreadable media also discusses that ancient Greek mythology was transformed and told through pottery, dating it before the term transmedia was coined. Furthermore, there is now many blogs which discusses Greek mythology, such as John Tui's It's All Greek Mythology to Me, which you can follow down below. Alright, the movement of medias across multiple platforms has allowed participation to a new level. One can now find themselves immersed in an online universe, participating in transmedia storytelling. Each media, however, does have their own part to the story. As transmedia is so widespread now, there is many ways to participate in this universe. Online forums and discussion boards are a great way to embed oneself into a universe. In-depth discussions on theories and law about a narrative shows that the community is actively participating in transmedia. The Hunger Games page on Reddit is a great example of this. Click the link below to visit and find out more. Next, we have interviews. Now, these can be a Q&A with authors or directors, as well as participation of characters, which enhances the transmedia universe. Blogs can also go hand in hand with discussions and online forums. Soundtracks can also be an immersive experience for the audience to feel included in the universe. Lastly, Henry Jenkins discusses that open-ended games can change how the story develops and how the audience communicates with the narrative and other players. So next we need to ask ourselves, how can we use this in the classroom? This is where Alpha and her Stevenson's characteristics of transmedia play can come in. So firstly, we've got resourcefulness. Now this means that students are using all available tools and materials to creatively solve a problem within the transmedia universe. Next is social. So social is important as it can be both social interactions with students in a close proximity, but also interactions online, which I discussed before is important for participation. Next is mobility. Now this is the movement of creations across platforms. This is content that is created by students. For example, videos, pictures, blogs, and so forth. Accessibility is where students can join transmedia play at different starting points through their own context and access. Now we go on to replayable. This is perhaps the most important one, as students should have the ability to replay transmedia play as they explore and learn more about the universe. For online communities, they can join in newer conversations, and for open-ended games, they may want to replay the game to produce a different outcome. So then what is an example of using this in the classroom? So Suzanne Collins' The Hunger Games trilogy is a well-known dystopian narrative. Teachers could use dystopias, like the Hunger Games, to encourage students to explore societal issues. Teachers can then encourage students to participate with online communities of the trilogy, of their new knowledge of dystopias. The Hunger Games website includes a range of transmedia play devices, which I will include the link just down below. Teachers can use transmedia to enhance the learning in not only English subjects, but science too. Now, there's many ways that we can use transmedia in biology classes. A great tool, though, is TED Talks, where students can participate in discussions on those pages. Next, they can go on to blogs and leave comments. And going on to textbooks, most textbooks will have websites that correspond to them and allowing comments and discussions on those as well. And lastly, you can also get educational games for biology. Feel free to jump onto any of the references that I've got here. I have mentioned them throughout, but there's some more interesting ones in there as well.